The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning from TFNN. Welcome to the February 19th terrific Thursday edition of today's opening bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who knows for a fact that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope each and everyone out there had a wonderful Wednesday. Let's make sure that you and I, that we do everything we can to have a terrific Thursday, to have an extraordinary day. Of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. You see, when you and I, when we make that one little shift, that little 2x4 shift out there, that means that you and I can find the gift in every set of circumstances that the universe is going to throw at us. And when it comes to trading and investing, that's all that the universe does. It always throws circumstance at us, and it's up to you and I to really define that and to find the good in every set of circumstance. I am absolutely grateful for your presence here this morning. I'm here to serve you. The easiest way to do that is to give me a call at 877-927-6648. Of course, internationally, you can reach out to us at 727-445-1044. That way, you and I, we can go hunting for bulls and bears. We can go on a safari out there. This is Terrific Thursday. Of course, it's Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, we've got the Dow trading out at Dow Futures, I should say. Trading out at 17,940. They're trading down about 52 points. The S&P Futures, it's trading at 2,089, down about 6 points. NASDAQ futures up 1 point right now, trade out at 43.87. Russell 2000 down a couple points. It's trading at 12.23. The king of beers, King Dollar, up 253 ticks. It's trading out at 94.51. We'll take a look at currency pairs. Goldilocks trading out at 12.13. Silver trading at 16.59. Light sweet crude trading down at 49.65. Natural gas at about the $2.83 range. Let's go check out the market, see what's going on over in Europe as we speak right now. Over in Europe at the DAX in Germany, it's flat, totally flat. Trade on at 10,960. The FTSE, let's go check in on the FTSE. The FTSE is off 17 points, trading at 68.80. Of course, what are we paying attention to inside of the FTSE? Well, yesterday, little doji candle that occurred inside the FTSE. Now, a doji candle at resistance, which is what took place yesterday. I say resistance because 68.75, if we go back a little bit further left on the chart out here, you'll see it. That is the top of the consolidation level. The top of that consolidation level, again, taking us back to the trading day of May 22nd, 2013. So we can see this has been a 13-month consolidation or so every time up to this level. Every time up to this level, we have run into resistance. Now, we did see a close. The FTSE, I didn't see it. You didn't see it, but we see it when we take a look at our stock chart out here. We saw a close above that level on February 17, 2 days ago. But yesterday, what appeared was a little doji candle. Now, doji candles at resistance areas have meaning. Every place else around the globe, every place else on a stock chart, I don't see it. The only place where I take a look at a doji to have any kind of significant meaning to you or I is up at the resistance level out here. Not at support, not anywhere in the middle of a move. Of course, how do you even know if it's a middle of a move out there? Just simply at resistance. That's how Stevie looks at it. Well, the Japanese, the candlestick makers out there, they have an expression. That expression right now, today, we're seeing it. I don't know how this is going to close out here. We got a few hours left in the trading session. But their expression is the leaves are falling off of the tree out there. Now, of course, if you're in the Northeast area with all that snow, you don't see any leaves on any trees. Come on down here to Florida. We'll show you what green leaves look like. In any event, a close today back underneath 68.75, 62, and it's trading at 68.78 right now. So, you know, we're pretty close. Let's see what it does. Not only would you have leaves falling from the trees, you would have the FTSE suggesting that the breakout of this consolidation is a false breakout. What does that mean? That then means that we would see, it would be giving us a signal of some type of retracement. Now, I don't know if we're going to get that. I don't know how it's going to close today. I won't know while I'm on the air with you here this morning. But if we take a look at retracements, where could that take us to? I would say it could take it down to 66.80, 65.35, somewhere around there would be what it would be that I would be targeting. FTSE still looks strong to me. I don't believe that the FTSE is going to run all the way back down to the bottom. Yes, there's the expression, if you can't bust them up, it'll try to bust it down, and so we'll pay attention to that. But I think at this stage here, it's more likely just simply a retracement inside of the market. So the FTSE is a place where you and I are going to be able to garner a bunch of information. Of course, the reason that you and I can garner a bunch of information is because of the worldwide correlation that just is out here. This again here, the top chart is the DAX. The center part is the FTSE. The bottom chart is the S&P 500. You can't tell me that these markets don't move in harmony. It's as if you're investing in one, you're investing in all for one and one for all. There's the Three Musketeer chart as we take a look at it, just to give you a feel. And that's a reason why you and I can go ahead and take a look at the FTSE at this time of day, just to get a feel for what's really going on inside of the market overall. So that's what we want to pay attention to. The number you want to be paying attention to today is 68.75.62. Of course, any lower close today, and the leaves will have fallen from the tree out there. And that's what's going on in the FTSE. The case of the DAX, not so much. Not so much with regard to information, in my opinion. This is really just continuing to consolidate up at the highs. It's made the 1-to-1 A to B equals CD. It eventually wants to get up to 11,429 out there. But it too, if the markets decide to pull back, the DAX will also pull back. As long as the DAX stays above 10,033.74, that's really the top of its consolidation. I'd say that area, maybe 10,093. I'd love to see a pullback there. And then the move to the north side, that move to the north side will cement the move for the next several months to the upside inside of the markets out here. That's what's going on in those two areas. I believe the Nikkei was open last night. Let me just see here. Was the Nikkei open last night? I know the Shanghai and the Hang Seng were closed out here. The Nikkei was open last night. The Nikkei, above its B point. I just don't know if there's volume behind the move, but it's up above the B point. I'm going to assume there's enough volume to say that the Nikkei wants to get up to 20,094. That would be its 1-to-1 A to B equals CD to the upside. Closed last night at 18,264. Let's go take a look at what's going on inside of. Let's go take a look at Goldilocks out here. If we take a look at gold, she's trading on a 12.1330. If we take a look at what gold actually did yesterday, now I don't do this too often, but let's do this. Let's go take a look at a 10-minute chart out here. This is Tom's specialty. So I don't want to step on Tom's specialty toes. But the reason why it's a specialty is he takes a look at the 10-minute chart. He does that all the time. Looking at the S&P futures in order to trade the markets. He does it with gold. Well, if we were going to take a look at gold to understand what it actually did here, because we had a nice move yesterday, big wide-ranging bar with accelerating volume. And that was on February 18th. That was that yes? Yeah, today's the 19th. That took place at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that was after the release of the Fed minutes out here. Volume behind that move was about 11,000 contracts during that 10-minute time period. Now, you think you heard me yesterday. I'm pretty sure you heard me yesterday. I'm bearish when it comes to gold. I believe gold is going lower. I believe gold is going much, much lower. Now, I am one of the few, I believe, that is in that camp, although I think I heard John Logan also take that viewpoint. So John and I, looks like, maybe are on the same side. Now, he was taking a look at some daily profiles out here. If we take a look at the 10-minute chart to understand what gold has done thus far, all gold did was came back to the level where it broke down. Gold broke down on February 17th at about between 9:10 and 9:20 in the morning, and it broke down with 11,000 contracts. We'll take a look at what Goldilocks did here as it came up and it tested that area at the 1222 range. It did that here this morning at about 7:20 to 7:30, 3,300 contracts, not enough to bust it up. Now what we'll see out here is, will gold be able to defend? Are these bulls out here inside gold, and we're seeing it play out as we speak right now, are they willing to defend the top of that bar that took place yesterday at 2 o'clock? The top of that bar is 1213.20. Right now, we can see that it's trading at 1213.60. If, in fact, we start to see gold get down into that area, now it's pulling back there with light volume. And if we take a look at retracements here, and I'm not saying just because I believe that gold wants lower price that that's how it's going to turn out. I'll just make my case for you. You guys make the decision as to what you want to do. If we take a look at if gold pulls back further, means gets below this, what did I say? I kind of lost it here, 1213 area. Likely targets then for you to be watching, for us to be watching, 1207. That simply becomes the 0.618 retracement level of that move off of the low to this morning's high out here. Maybe it's a 1202 area. Maybe it comes all the way back to the breakout in that 1197 or just above 1197. You'd say the breakout really took place at a price point of 1199 out there. But here's the deal. You start to see gold get below that price point of from yesterday. Looks like the low around 1197, which was great. Great Fibonacci support out here. If we put a daily chart on our screen, let's switch over to the daily chart. Let me go ahead and get rid of those numbers out here. What you'll see is really great. Let me get rid of all these numbers out here. So there's what's going on with regard to an intraday chart. And when we take a look at what gold actually did in finding support, we go from the actual low, the recent low, November 7, 2014, to the high that took place out here on January 22nd. You'll see that from that low to high, you were at the 0.618 retracement level. 1199. Now I'm going to go ahead and delete that. So just remember 1199. And if we take a look at the retracement off of this swing point, January 2nd to the high, you'll see at 1198 was the 0.786 retracement level. So you've got really strong support. But what gold did here this morning needs to be able to take out that resistance level in order to start to prove that Stevie's wrong in his thought process with regard to what gold wants to do. Now, why is it that I believe that gold wants lower price? I believe it's because of the message of the large commercial traders out here. If we go take a look at what their message is, give me a moment, we'll switch charts out here. I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen for you to take a look at. Now, every week, the CFTC releases data that you too can glean out there, and it's a ton of data. They release data called the Commitment of Traders Information. It's in a great spreadsheet format, so if you're a spreadsheet-neur, I don't know what that means, but if you are a connoisseur of spreadsheets, how about that? Because otherwise it sounded like manure out there. But if you are a connoisseur of spreadsheets, specifically Excel out there, then you can glean all kinds of information. Now, what I do is I take certain elements, like I take a look at what's going on in natural gas, light sweet crude, silver, gold. I'll take a look at the U.S. dollar index, sometimes all the currency pairs out there. It just depends on what it is that I'm looking for in the markets to get an idea with regard to what two types of categories of traders are doing. One category is what is referred to as the commercial traders out there. They're presumed to be the smart money. Hey, they're the big money traders, that's for sure. And as of last Friday, which is really the prior Tuesday's data, so it's last Tuesday's data, not this past Tuesday, but last Tuesday's data, large commercial traders have been gearing up to push prices lower inside of Goldilocks. Bottoms aren't formed from these levels. I'm going to go ahead and say they're the ones in control of the ball. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back, folks.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
trade with confidence and clarity while using the software that thousands of institutional traders rely on to make the best and most accurate decisions. Choose from 1,000 equities, currencies, and futures instruments utilizing the TAS architecture. As seen on Bloomberg terminals worldwide, the TAS Profile Scanner is a benchmark technical filtering system that thousands of traders rely on, and now you can too. For a limited time for TFNN subscribers only, we've reduced the price to just $97. That's over 75% off. John Logan hosted a special subscriber-only webinar in December, and you'll gain access to that archive as well, so you can learn exactly what the TAS Profile Scanner can do for you. Try this product out. No matter what you trade, the TAS Profile Scanner can help you make more informed trading decisions. There's no obligation to pay anything. Don't let this offer pass you by. Get your 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner today by signing up at TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find the Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now.
Check out the new look of TigerTV. Now you can see all hosts, charts, and computer screens live in high definition. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Thinkorswim, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV. Now, crystal clear in high definition, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't seen the new look of TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. Not much changed here in the pre-market. Let's go take a look at currency pairs. I don't think we did that. So let's go take a look at the euro, Japanese yen, just really trading sideways as we speak right now. So not a lot of information here to glean from this currency pair, other than it really continues to trade sideways to a certain extent, just like our markets out here. Notice the correlation between the euro, Japanese yen, and our markets. This is the currency pair that tracks the U.S. stock markets better than any other currency pair out there. If we take a look at the euro, all by its lonesome self out here against the U.S. dollar index, as long as it holds the 112 area, which is a 0.618 retracement, this larger term retracement out here. Let me put this again on the monthly chart for you. Let's go take a look at a monthly chart, in fact, for the euro U.S. dollar. Come on, pull back. There we go. What we can see here is that's really an important level, this 112. We're not the only ones watching it, because what happens is, and there's on a monthly chart out here, you can see how meager the bounce has been thus far. In fact, if you look at a monthly chart, it's been quite a long time since the currency pair, the euro against the U.S. dollar, has actually been so oversold. Last time that it was really down in those levels takes you back to the bottom that had formed back in October of 2000 out here. Now that this wide-ranging bar from the month of January as price pushed in there. It's one of those bars that says you just got to beware. You at least want to see small ranging bars like we've got going on at this area here. If you see, it just tells you that then maybe it's lost the energy. But if we do see a significant piercing below $1.12, then what we're going to see is below par. We're going to see 99 cents as the right around that range with regard to the euro. So at this stage here, when you go back to the daily chart, it's going to really be, it's got this nice bullish reversal signal right here. That was the 3 days, January 23rd, 26th, and 27th out there. And it just says you break below that January 26th low of $1.10. Oh, I did have a question that was posted to me. I said that there were, when I look at the CFTC data, there's really two categories I looked at. I only referred to one of those categories. That was the commercial traders. There's another category that they referred to all of the, we'll call it the smaller style traders. That'd be me and you for the most part. And they refer to us as the non-reportables. Now, I don't have a non-reportable chart to show you, but I keep track of that data. And sometimes I go ahead and create that chart. I look at that chart because the non-reportable group, what I look for there is they're kind of like Wedding Crashers. You like that movie Wedding Crashers? I like that movie Wedding Crashers out there. In this case here, it's not a wedding that they're crashing. What they tend to do is they tend to stay at the party a bit too long out here. So I look for the non-reportables to truly get all on one side of the boat, and usually they end up just totally getting skunked and out there. And so that's what so those are really the two primary categories. Those are two categories that I look at for some clues out there. And, the large commercial traders, they can afford to be wrong for a longer period of time than you are, because they're really these big ships, and they take a little bit longer to turn. But once they get in their positions now, and the reason why I say I don't believe that we've seen the bottom here in gold is because with that full moon initiation move that we saw here, if I go back to, what was Tuesday's date? Give me a moment here to switch and look to see what was last Tuesday's date. Was the 10th. So where's the 10th out here? Here's the 10th. So as of the 10th out here, we had seen a fairly decent move to the downside when they began building that position. And they really were not coming off of the accelerator really that much. We haven't seen a substantial move in gold. It closed last Tuesday, closed around 1233 or 1211 as we speak right now. So they're nowhere near the levels where bottoms get formed out here. And it works really pretty well. You can't use it as a timing tool. That's why you look for other signals. If I go back and I'll pull that chart up on my screen now, give me a moment here. I got to switch back to a different template. COT, coming with the traders. There we go. Give me a moment. We'll pull it back up on my screen because maybe you didn't get a chance to really take a look. Now, it's a weekly chart that I'm showing on my screen out here because the data comes out weekly. And I'm always looking at it as a percentage of net of their net short positions as a percentage of open interest out here. They basically always have remained net short, whether that's selling forward product, whatever it is out there. So it's really about taking a look at it. And and we all use, when I say we all, those of us that look at the CFTC data, the commitment of traders data, we look at it differently. I like looking at this and actually mapping it on my screen. See these bottoms that formed out here? See where my cursor's at? Take a look at these bottoms. See where these levels are at? See where these levels are at, where there's bottoms? We ain't anywhere near that level. So the large commercials, they must know something that you and I don't know. We're just going to use this to provide us with information. We'll be right back, folks.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full custom optimization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Each and every time that the dollar ticks higher, S&P wants higher price. Each and every time that the dollar's ticking lower, guess what? S&P wants lower price. Dollar, the metals, and the S&P are going tick for tick.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
To the races. We got the Dow trading off 80 points, trading out at 17,950. S&P down 7 at 2,091. Composite off 5 points at 4902. Russell 2,000 down 3.5 at 1224. DAX off 10. FTSE down 25. Gold trading out at 1212. Silver at 1653. Light sweet crude trading down at 49.58. Leading the charge to the upside. I do mean to the upside. You've got Priceline. PCLN, it's up 82. Buckaroonies up 7% this morning. We've got BJ's Restaurant, that's up 11%, up $5 and change. You've got McGuire Infrastructure, MICKEY. It's really MIC is the ticker symbol out there, but I could not resist the KEY. That's up a nice 5%. Marriott International, that is MAR is the ticker symbol, up 2.5%. You've got Tetraphase Pharmaceuticals, that's up 8%, $2.83. Amazon up about $3 right now. Spirit Airlines up a couple of dollars. Delta Airlines Up 3%, 3.5% out there. Norwegian Cruise Lines cruising along. Are you a cruiser out there? You like taking those cruises? I've done one, and for me, it was one and done. Do I like sailing? Do I like being on a boat? Absolutely. Do I like being on that big boat? Nah, not a whole lot of, not a whole lot. No, not really. In any event, that's not to take away from those of you that like cruising out there. I just like a little different kind of cruising. In any event, let's go take a look at what's going to the downside out here. You got EOG Resources. Now, here's what's going to be kind of interesting. Right? Was it last week? Some of the guys in the den will be able to remind me. Or was it the week before that I said I expected a top in the market on February 18th? Didn't get the total signal yesterday, but how would you like that for the crystal ball, if that's what, in fact, turns out? We got EOG Resources down $8, down about 8% as well. Solar City, got to be careful how you say that. That's down about 9% as well, off $5. You've got Anadarko Petroleum down 3, Chevron down 3, Zillow, which had a huge day yesterday. That's off about $4.70. Walmart down a couple of bucks out here. United Rentals down a couple. Let's go take a look at some of these equities. See what they're actually doing. Let's go take a look at Priceline. PCLN out with the numbers out here. Net income $577 million, a 22% increase from the previous year. Now they've been on the acquisition side of the game out here. So and the revenues are up net income 452 versus 378. Revenues of 8.56 billion versus 7. But I don't know how much is attributable to acquisitions or anything along those lines. You really got to go read the MD&A. The management discussion and analysis inside of their filing out there. That's easy to do, by the way. If you ever want to understand what a company says they are trying to do out there, just go to sec.gov. You can go into the research level, go ahead and put in the ticker symbol, and go take a look at the filings. You can learn all kinds of stuff out there, all kinds. Now, what do we know about Priceline? We took a look at the Priceline chart a couple of days ago. We noticed that Priceline had broken through its descending trend line out there. It did that on February 17th, 900,000 shares to the upside. It then continued yesterday. It tested that level, tested an area of resistance, closed back above it, and voila. So where there were already signals out here, there were technical signals to not say that this morning's move or what it was going to do would be unexpected. Now it gapped up to the 0.618 level. That's a 618 retracement level off of the high from August the 11th down to the low. Looks like I'm pretty close here. Looks like I might have missed it just by a tad. Let me go ahead and change that up here, because I'm going to have somebody's going to write into me and say, hey, I didn't have the right retracement out there. And remember, we like to use these as guidelines. So 1200.32 is your 0.61. It takes a lot of energy to gap up to that area. So, this probably is somewhere right around the high of the day, trading in this range out here. It just takes a lot of energy to do that. Does that mean that it pulls back? Look, in the case of Priceline, it cracked on the trading session of November the 4th out there with 3.3 million shares. It's done 587,000 shares as we speak right now. It's basically repairing that window. So any close today above the price point of 1197, near 1203 right now, it will go ahead and repair that window. What's that mean? That means it's no longer used as a resistance level. Now, there's another resistance area right here. Let me put my blue line across that. That is another gap down that took place on the trading session with lighter volume on September 5th, only 1.7 million shares, 1216. But that still becomes an area of resistance, 1216. But otherwise, closing above that area, Priceline's going to go make a run for its highs out here from back on the trading session of August 11th. Now, that may not be its all-time highs. Let me pull this back further. It's not its all-time highs, but that's where it would be gunning for. PCLN is the ticker symbol. Let's go see what's going on to the downside here. Let's take a look at the leader in the clubhouse. That is EOG Resources, down 7% and $6 and change. So this is gapping down. This gap down, taking it into, it's got some pretty decent support out here. EOG down around the trading session the day of October 15th. Key reversal session out there. Bullish engulfing candle, 8107. That had volume on that trading session of 11 million shares. We've seen price come down there with 8 million shares, 4.8 million shares. Today, though, already 3 million shares. Pretty good chance that EOG Resources is going to try to make a run for the 81-ish. to 83-ish, 82.76 or so. Trade right now at 88.84. Also to the downside, Boise Cascade, BCC, is the ticker symbol out there, not to be confused with sending out an email and sending out a blind carbon copy. If we take a look at this blind carbon copy, though, BCC, Boise Cascade, gapping down 114,000 shares. This, in essence, qualifies as volume off of the top from this all-time high out here on the trading session of February 17th. Now, where is this going to find some support out here as we pull this back and we take a look at it? Well, if we just look at natural retracement levels from the swing of the December 16th level to the high out there on February 17th, you can see it's gapped down to the 0.618 level. So that also takes a lot of energy to do. Nonetheless, it's got some volume. This ought to at least come back here and probably test that swing from December 16th down around $33 and a change out there. Boise Cascade. Also to the upside, let's go take a look at BJ's Restaurant, BJRI. Out with numbers as well. Revenues in the fourth quarter increased by 7% to $213 million. Out there. I can't say that I've been to a BJ's restaurant. Don't even know what it is that they serve. But what I can tell you is they're serving up a breakout this morning here. So that breakout is a close above January 2nd's high. That high is priced out at 51.30. Volume on that high was 238,000 shares, 323,000. They're serving, it looks like to me, they're serving up the Grand Slam breakfast this morning. This could be a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside. The point on here that we'll just use the October 23rd low. We'll use as our high that January 2nd, and as our C point, we're going to use January 16th. That gives you a 1-to-1, uno to uno, A to B equals CD, as long as it closes above 51.38. That says $60.63. On the other hand, these restaurant stocks are amazing. Served up with that Grand Slam looks like maybe an extra stack of pancakes out there. You a pancake eater? Blueberry pancakes. Now, that's pretty good. I used to go as a kid when I had two paper routes. Can you believe that? The Detroit Free Press, that was the morning paper route. That's why I'm such an early bird, like this morning up at, 4:40 or so, 4:45. It's cold in Florida, to get my 17-mile bike ride in. But always been an early bird now. And then I had the Detroit News. That was the afternoon paper in Detroit. Now, after doing the morning paper route, I used to like to go to, every now and then, I had to treat myself as a kid, Elias Brothers Big Boys. I don't even know if the Big Boy restaurant chain is still around. Must be around out there. But they had great blueberry pancakes. The kind of pancakes where there's blueberries in it, and then they serve you the blueberry sauce on that. Good. Now, what I ordered with those blueberry pancakes, there was also another place up in Detroit called wasn't called Yums, was it? What was the name of that? Escapes me. Anyways, what I used to have, this always kind of flipped people out. Probably will flip you out as well. It'll tell you about the cast iron stomach that Stevie has here. That cast iron stomach, along with that big stack of blueberry pancakes, I used to like to order onion rings. Now, take a look at that flavors. Now, nothing that surprises me these days with regard to some of the meals that they've got out here. I probably could have, right then I probably was onto something there with blueberry pancakes and onion rings. They had those big onion rings out there. In any event, I'm getting ahead of myself out here. I don't know how I got on that, but just did. So 60-63-0 is talking about the extra stack of pancakes out here with this breakout. More likely, BJ's Restaurant, BJRI, is headed for the $65.50. Now, I can tell you it's been a lot of years since I've had blueberry pancakes, let alone blueberry pancakes and onion rings out there. Hey, nonetheless, we all have our weak spot out here. Now let's go take a look at. Let's see. So that was BJ's Restaurant. Let's see what else we have out here percentage-wise that's really moving. Diamond Resorts, DRII. I don't know what sounds pretty good. I don't know what I'm not sure what brand hotels Diamond Resorts is, but Diamond Resorts is moving up today, gapping up. Pretty decent volume for it. 161,000 shares out here. This thing did 244,000 shares on February the 12th out here. Let's pull this back. Looks like this is at all-time highs out here. If we take a look at A to B equals CD patterns, looks like it's trying to complete one. Maybe it's going to, we'll start with an A point on March 27, 2014. Our B point out here is going to be the trading session of August the 4th, 2014. The C point looks like a little hammer candle bound on October the 15th. Yeah, it's moving up to the 1 to 1.618. A to B equals CD. Cross that B point that had 500,000 shares. Got through there with 600,000 shares back on October 31st. So this thing wants to probably make more than a 1 to 1.618. It probably wants to make a 1 to 2 A to B equals CD and get up into about the 39.23 level out there. I'll probably get a couple of emails about that blueberry pancakes and onion rings out there. Oh, if you've never tried it though, how do you know? If you've never tried it, I mean that's truly the sweet and salty combination out there. Of course, also, if I didn't go there, mostly I was going over to Dunkin' Donuts, to get a donut or something. That's not a really good habit to have as a kid. But look, I was delivering those papers, when it was freezing cold and snowstorms. The snowstorm you guys have up in the Boston area. One morning, we had. One morning, it was during a big snowstorm, and I had one of those big Schwinn bikes. I don't know if Schwinn still around. Big Schwinn bikes, big black Schwinn bikes with those those monkey bar handles. What do you call them? Not the steering wheel, but your. The handlebars, and because that would hold the front bag, and that's right, big bag. And then on the back, I had, on my big Schwinn, had that little kind of that steel so that I could hang the back bags over it. Now, the papers that were always the worst, and this took place on a Sunday, was the Sunday paper, and especially like the Thanksgiving paper. I mean, good Lord out there, could they possibly stick more flyers in there? And it was this one winter when I was delivering the papers, and the handlebars, those monkey bars, whatever the handlebars out there, all of a sudden the weight of the papers and the dampness and the snow, they just, as I was writing, they just started bending like that. And you could no longer. I was dragging those papers with those bags. That was the most god-awful day for delivering papers out there. And yet I can still visualize exactly where I was, but you just have to persevere. You just simply get through it. You just say, really? You know how I talk about how the universe is always going to test us? It's up to us to be able to find the good in every set of circumstances out there. Yeah, I got through it. None the worse for it. And you just kind of motor on is what you do. Of course, it's easy to motor on when you're from the Motor City out there. Let's take a look at Zillow. Let's go see what Zillow's giving back here today. Zillow's down about $4.75 now. A huge move out here. Zillow volume yesterday of about 10 million shares. Zillow here actually did not close above that swing point. Pretty amazing. The swing point being November 19th, it only had 3.6 million shares out here. So what is Zillow doing? I don't know. Maybe Zillow's going to go ahead. Let me put this on a short-term chart. Let's go see where all the volume was inside Zillow. Let's put it on a 10-minute chart out here and see what our eyes can focus on. So in the case of Zillow, where was all of the volume as we come back here? Come on. Where was all that volume here from yesterday? Here's February 18th. And oh, man, there wasn't any one big, huge volume bar inside of Zillow. So that's pretty interesting out here. So Zillow, when you take a look at the volume inside of this on a 10-minute basis, this actually says Zillow could pull all the way back to the breakout, 108.97. You're at one. I don't know whether it's going to do it. If we just take a look at a retracement, so let's go see what it's actually done so far. This is just taking a look at yesterday. It's already below the 0.382 level, so that's 118.24. Get your 0.618, maybe 114.18. Maybe it does come back to the breakout. Hey, this is Steve Rhodes. This is TFNN. We'll be right back, folks. Dow's off 73, S&P down 6.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
We're told to follow our passion and everything else will fall into place. I hope that's what each of you are doing each and every day. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com, and my passion for technical analysis is what led me to the most fundamental discovery in pattern recognition, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator, market scanner, and trading strategy, a set of tools that identify the momentum and power of the trend, the likes of which have never been seen before, for every market and every time frame. Yes, folks, the trend is your friend, unless you're on the other side. New to technical analysis? This is the place to start. And experienced traders take advantage of the trend like never before. Experience the power of the Rhodes Momentum Indicator each day, available to subscribers of my newsletter service, Mastering Probability. I guarantee your satisfaction for the next 30 days unconditionally, so there's no risk to you other than being on the wrong side of the trend. Mastering Probability, available on the homepage of TFNN.com. And folks, live with passion.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Catch Steve Rhodes as he teaches techniques on technical analysis using pattern recognition, celestial charting, Fibonacci, and other tools. The Trader's Edge, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow's off 84. S&P is down 6. The NASDAQ Composite, that's up 4 points. Russell's down 3. New York Stock Exchange off 50 points. So percentage-wise, pretty much the leader to the downside. That's the wider swath of the market. Thanks for the emails out there. I got one specific from a great listener of ours, and he asked, was the name of the restaurant that I was searching for Biff's. Biff's over on 15 Mile and Telegraph. And so thank you for sending that, because you helped to jog my memory, because I said Yums. It was Lums, Lums, was the name of the restaurant, as I recall. I also think that it was on Middle Belt or Orchard Lake. I can't recall which of those two that it was on, but Lums Burgers. I think they were, and they made the best onion rings. They also made the best pancakes, but that wasn't exactly on my route for I had to pick up my papers and then go back and forth. So, but Elias Brothers Big Boys was. Yeah, I think it was Lums. Now, I'm sure that restaurant chain is not around. Hey, all right. So let me go ahead and give you where we at in the market out here. Let's go take a look at the summation index out here. Let's look at for the New York Stock Exchange. So right now, Buddy's Pizza, Buddy's and Shields. Are you kidding me, Mark P? God, you got to love that. That's probably the best pizza. I know people in Chicago talk about their pizza, but they put sausage on the bottom of it. Buddy's Pizza with some anchovies on it. Now we're talking. Okay, let's take a look at the New York Stock Exchange. We can talk about food all day long out here. If we look at the New York Stock Exchange, right now the price oscillator dips below zero. If the New York Stock Exchange closes down probably 50 points or so today, pretty good chance the price oscillator is below zero. First time that we've seen in quite some time with the bears, the sellers now having control of the market. That's its message. The Dow is off about 80 points or so. It's very close. It is very close to getting this price oscillator down below the zero line. So, folks, have a terrific Thursday. I've got a couple things that I've got to do, so I won't be here for the second hour. But stay tuned. Tom O'Brien's going to be up shortly with his 10 a.m. market update. Have a great Thursday. Hope I haven't made you too hungry out there. Have a great Thursday. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, folks.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how EverBank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? EverBank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? EverBank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. EverBank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. EverBank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.